Hey, I'm Courtney Waterman, your tutor. Lover of anime, manga, and math. And you just tuned into another session of Tutor Me Senpai. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're jumping into a 5th grade topic, Introduction to Percentages. If you're new to my channel, I'll be putting time codes in for this video in the description box below, so use that to skip ahead to whatever part of the video suits you the most. If you have any questions about what you see here today, or even your own homework, remember you can always put them in the comment box below, or visit me on my Facebook page at Tutor Me Senpai and tell me all about it there. When you find this video helpful, remember to leave a like. It really helps YouTube know that this video was helpful, and it could be helpful to somebody else as well. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell, smash the subscribe button, and share this video with a friend. Without further ado, let's jump right into some percentages. Now, if you found your way to this video, I assume that you have a question. And that question is, what is a percent? What is this mysterious percentage that we are supposed to be covering today? Well, I assure you, it is actually not as mystifying or confusing as it may seem at first glance. Now, percentages are used in a lot of parts of life, from nutrition facts to sales tax at a store to even your score on a test. Percentages are everywhere, so it's understandable to have questions about what they are. Now, I have a question for you. Do you know what a fraction is? If you know what a fraction is, then you already know what a percent is. I tell you this in 100% confidence, 100% confidence, that if you know exactly what a fraction is, then by definition, you will know what a percent is. Do you still not believe me? Well, what if I told you a percent is nothing but a shortcut? A percent is not a whole new thing. It's not a whole new topic. It's pretty much just a shortcut. Now, a shortcut to what? Well, I just said if you already know what a fraction is, you already know what a percent is. So we can assume that it's a shortcut for some sort of fraction. And if you assume that, you will be correct. But first, let's break down what a percent means. Now, percent actually comes from a Latin word, percentum. Now, this is by, and this is the hundred. So by the hundred. That is the Latin word percentum, and where we get percent from. Or you can think of for each hundred, because typically how we use per is like per person, for each person, or per item, or per this, or per that. It's typically for each. So per, we could think of it as for each. Cent comes from this root word centum, which means the hundred, so for each hundred. That's what percent, when you break it down, means. So for each hundred. Now we take the fact that it's a shortcut, we take that we need to know what a fraction is, and we take its meaning, and we start having a full picture here. Still confused about what that full picture is? No worries. The shortcut is really just anything over 100. So if you have a fraction where the denominator is 100, that is your shortcut for your percent. So let's say 80 over 100. This will be equivalent, it's the same thing, just in a different form, to 80%. Percent per 100, or by the 100, right? 80 per 100. Same thing for, let's say, 75 over 100. 75 over 100 is just going to be 75%. So this percentage is just a shortcut, a shorthand, if you will, for writing out a fraction with 100 in the denominator. Just a shortcut. It's not a brand new topic or anything, actually. It's just instead of writing these fractions out all the time, we have this nice little symbol here that symbolizes this fraction. Once you realize it's just a shortcut or a shorthand for writing something over 100, it becomes very easy to see what the percent form is. Now, if this is fraction form, we're going to be writing it in percent form. That's the only thing. It's a form of the same thing. So 17 over 100, percent by the 100, means that we're going to have 17%. 82 over 100 means we're going to have 82%. So you see, it's very easy. Just take that numerator, write it here, and then write your percent sign. Now, it's imperative that it's over 100. If this is 101 or 99, it is not a percent. Percent means by the 100, so it has to be over the 100. 53 over 100, that's going to be 53%. 36 over 100, 36%. Now we have something that looks like this. 138 over 100. Now what is that? Is that going to be some kind of percent, or do we have to do something special here? Remember, a percent is just a shorthand for a fraction. Is this a fraction? Yes. And the percent is going to be a shorthand for a special fraction, where the denominator is 100. Now, is the denominator 100 here? Yes. So if you have this, you realize it's no different. Although it looks a little different because it's an improper fraction, it's still a fraction that hits the criteria of having 100 in the denominator. So we do the same exact thing. We take the numerator, we put it here, and we follow it by a percent sign. So 138 over 100 is 138%. You can have a bigger than 100%. Speaking of 100%, what is the fraction form of 100%? Now, we've been going from fraction form to percentage form. But what if we want to go back? What is the fraction form of 100%? Well, think about it. If everything has to be over 100 for it to be a percent, and all we do is take the top number and make it a percent by putting the percentage sign after it, how do we go back? Well, this is just going to be 100. And it makes sense, right? If you have 100%, let's say on your test, if you get 100% on your test, how many questions did you get wrong? None. If you had 100 questions, you got nothing wrong. 100 out of 100 is 100%. Now, this clearly means one whole. So if you think about it in this sense, 100% is everything, right? One, it's a whole. Whereas 50%, that's going to be what? You have 50 over 100, 1/2. So you see that 100% really does mean everything. You have a whole at that point in time, and anything less than 100% is going to give you a fraction of it, or a smaller piece of everything. So once again, 100%. Think of your test. That's probably going to be the one thing that you run into the most when you have these percentages. Your test, if you get 100% on your test, you got everything right. But if you got anything less than 100, there was at least one question wrong. If you got a 50 on your test, you got roughly half of the questions wrong. That's how you can look at the relationship between fractions and percentages in real life. One last question for you. Can you have 0%? Now, if I was to write 0%, we talked about 100%, we talked about various percentages under 100%, we even showed one example of something over 100%, but can you have 0%? What does 0% mean? Well, I want you to think back to your test. Now, I hope that none of you have ever gotten a 0 on a test, but what does that mean? 0%. It means, quite honestly, you got everything wrong. So if you had 100 questions, a 0% on your test means that none of them were correct. That means you got a big 0 out of 100 correct. So that's all that 0% is. It's nothing special. Once again, you just take this, put it over 100, and that's your fraction form. Percentage form, fraction form. They're interchangeable. They mean the same exact thing. Now, I hope you have followed today's examples, and I hope you realize that percentages are nothing new. If you know how to do fractions, you already know how to do a percentage because it's just a shortcut or shorthand for a certain type of fraction. However, if you had any question about what you saw here today, remember, you can always put them in the comment box below. I'd love to read those and help you out as much as I possibly can. If you have questions about your own homework and the comment box is a little bit too small, feel free to visit me on Facebook and tell me all about it there. If you haven't done so already, remember to leave a like. It really helps, once again, YouTube know how helpful this video has been and can potentially help somebody else. And don't forget, hit the notification bell, smash the subscribe button, and share this video with a friend. Well, that's all the time I have for today. I'm really hoping this helped with your homework, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. I'm Courtney, and this is another session of Tutor Me Sempai.